Okay. Welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started today on, I think this is now our 5th open DAO operations call. We're going to be covering DAO funding, DAO tooling, DAO operations, and we have a couple speakers that'll be joining us today too. Shock, if you want to go ahead, just fill us in on that. I think we have Maddie coming to speak.
Yeah, so we got Maddie from Basic DAO. He's really been working on a super fire proposal. Really honored and humbled to be having us working really closely with them as well too. We have Gabby, who's going to be breaking down some info that we had no idea about yesterday, which is really crucial and vital. And so look forward to having him speak. Plus, he's just a beacon of joy anyway, which is awesome. Who else we got? We got Tim's going to be doing some stuff too, right? Yeah. Okay. So Tim's going to be doing some stuff as well. I think that's all I know of. If we got some more that you brought down, let us know.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
So there is one more person that I'm really excited to introduce to the team, Jacob Lill, who's on the call today. Colin actually introduced us. He is like just a DAO tooling guru. He's made like, I think 140 DAO tools, and we've been working closely on a DAO accounting tool. Because as we move forward with reporting, and measuring the success of DAOs, I think that's a vital component to consider, and creating a decentralized accounting platform for DAOs to use. So welcome, Jacob.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So if you want to come up at the end and just talk about your tool and what we have built so far, you're more than welcome to.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we'll go ahead and kick it off with Mikey, if you have anything on DAO funding.
Thank you, Rachel. Hey, everybody. Yeah, so if you were on the call last week, or if you watched the video from last week's all hands DAO call, you'll know that the Harmony Foundation's put a pause on DAO funding until May 1st. So just a couple more days. So of last week, there were a couple of approvals. A couple regional DAOs completed some milestones, but the funds haven't gone out quite yet. The Philippines DAO accomplished their social media follower milestone, and the Nigeria DAO completed did a hackathon, which is pretty exciting. That turned out very well. So yeah, that's about it in terms of. Oh yeah, George, weren't you were a judge? Yeah.
It was really good. I mean, I'll just quickly say something. There's some really exciting projects. There's a lot of talent there too. And I think that, I don't know, I always hear complaints that there aren't enough developers on Harmony, but they're gems, they don't know what to do to be seen yet. And no, it was cool because I don't think anyone realized that there's actually a lot of good stuff out there. These are some pretty strong potential projects, like really good. So yeah, I was very happy about it, and it was very, very, very good hackathon.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I actually haven't watched the follow-up yet, but that's what I heard. I heard a lot of really good things came out of that. So excited to see what happens with those projects. But yeah, so unfortunately, not much in the way of DAO funding, but that's also not a bad thing. We're making sure that we fund what should be funded. So
I heard Blue DAO also had a hackathon with a few hackathon wins. Correct?
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
I'm sure someone here knows, but I think I got the Coinbase prize.
Yeah, I was there. I was leading the 2 hack teams there. So we brought 12 scholars and we formed 3 teams. And overall, we won over 16 prizes between the 3 teams. And we had one team be the top 13 finalists out of 165 teams. We had one team win first place for Coinbase, one team win second place for Polygon. So very, very successful event at ETH Amsterdam.
Congratulations.
Awesome, congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that's it for the DAO funding for this week. Stay tuned for the weeks coming up in May. Should be a lot of good stuff from the funding side.
We do have some really exciting stuff lined up for May. I guess next we'll just get into DAO tooling. Devin, if you want to kick it off.
Yeah.
We have some updates on different DAO tools for this month.
Yeah, DAO tools. Actually, Rachel, I'm going to let you cover DAO tools because I want to mention one DAO stuff.
Okay.
So this Friday, we usually do every other Friday for the download, right, on Twitter Spaces. If you don't know about the download, get on Twitter on Fridays at the same exact time and find us doing the same exact thing, but without video. It's really fun. We bring DAO tools on all the time. Last week we had Bullet Network, and they talked about what they're about. Really, really useful tool. If you don't know Bullet Network, they're integrated with Harmony, and they're awesome. But we'll be having a special one this week to highlight something that essentially you guys created, which is called One DAO. It is, I'm very excited with where it's at right now. It's currently 99% in its final form. It's doing some internal team circulation, getting some feedback, and getting some approval on one budgetary thing. And then Friday, it will be released to everyone for feedback. Again, not acting, but we'll have that for a few weeks, getting feedback from people, working on it with you guys to craft it, evolve it more, and beginning of Q3, if everyone's down, we're going to be making DAOs a whole lot easier on Harmony. So do come to the download on Friday. It's going to be awesome. We will publish the One DAO Alliance report. I don't know what to call it a report, more like manifest DAO, right? A little bit. So it's going to be really exciting. Yeah, I'm just really excited. So, yeah, Rachel, I know we have 7 tools. You want to highlight them? I know you've been working really hard on that as well. So spotlight.
Well, just to comment on the One DAO, I'm also really excited about that. And Devin and Shock have been working extremely hard on this since its inception. And I think this will really help us with measuring the success of DAOs long-term and ensuring the longevity of our ecosystem and having something in place where we can all come together, you know, and report and get more organized as our DAO ecosystem grows.
Yeah, and just real quick on that, this is like a huge community win. Like, you know, the community we've had, you know, on every medium that we've had, you know, there's been sentiment, and when you listen to the community and then the community gives such good feedback as we've had here over the last few weeks, both internally, externally, here between the download, I'm really proud of the community for coming together and saying, hey, this is what we want, this is what we need, what are you guys going to do about it? You know, and I feel like One DAO is the best answer for it, and it's still got, like Devin said, it's still got you know, work to do. We still need feedback on it, but we feel like the framework is going to be something that's going to make the ecosystem sustainable, right? Like we've been working as a bunch of single DAOs and everybody's doing their thing, and we've, you know, but we haven't really hit that meter that we want, where we're producing high quality DAOs all the time, and these are going to allow everybody to govern themselves. DAOs, it's for DAOs by DAOs is what it is, you know. And so yeah, cool.
The last thing I'll say, Shock, you said a very good point. Like, yeah, this is a community tool that is really going to make this feel so much more like a community, right? But it was interesting in the research we were doing as well into frameworks of decentralization, like what the community created and was looking for is like spot on with what decentralized frameworks like need. Like there's like essential points that you don't really think about. Oh, you do need this key item here in a what it's like, wow. It's like it was inherent and that we just, you know, it's something we miss, but it's really, really cool when you get all that feedback. I guess it is in the model, right? Of decision making from people who have knowledge that you don't, and bringing that data back to one place and putting it together in one visible, nice area. Yeah, it's just awesome. I was blown away. So really excited, and thank you all. Thank you all.
Cool. Thank you, Devin and Shock, for sharing. Okay, so moving forward on DAO tools, we have 7 DAO tools that we've targeted this month to onboard to help our DAOs operate more efficiently and to scale. The first one that we're really excited about is One Reputation. We have a beta version available that will be used by 3 DAOs by the end of this month, and we're on track for that. We have DAO Lens, which is a DAO onboarding tool. We've had a couple calls with DAO Lens, and they really took the time. I was really impressed by their team. They took the time for Ambassador DAO to really listen to our needs individually. And their turnaround was really amazing. Like, they just created this really user-friendly interface to help us automate the process of onboarding new ambassadors. So I know, at least for our DAO, it's just going to revolutionize our workflow with onboarding people, going through applications, organizing where the events are located. And I think they have the ability to address each DAO like individually what their needs are. So I'm really excited for DAO Lens. So what I'm going to be doing is Thursday, I'm going to be doing a live training webinar with the DAO Lens team at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if anybody on the call is interested in joining that, it's going to be same way we send out invites for the Open DAO Ops call. We'll send you an email if you're interested. If you are somebody that's interested in using DAO Lens as a tool for your DAO, just go ahead and reach out to me individually, and I'll send you the invite to that live training webinar. Okay, next we have DAO. So this is more of an education tool, and Basic DAO will be using this first. I know Shock has had a lot of contact with Robin from DAO. Do you want to get into a little more detail, Shock, about what DAO is working on?
Yeah, 100%. DAO is, so I guess it circles back really in depth to one DAO, right? Because one of the main focuses is education, right? It's part of the reason why our ecosystem until this point has been, not as optimal as we like, because we have a lot of miseducation and a lot of lack of education on using DAO tools specifically, right? And some other objects in that facet. So what DAO does is they make comprehensive guidebooks that are reward-based in nature, can be governed by a smart token or can be governed by a governance token. But you go through these guidebooks and it almost acts as if it's like basically a proof of knowledge, what I've been calling it, right? It's a base layer proof of knowledge that says, hey, the person that I'm next to, no matter who they are in the DAO, I at least know that they know this and I know this as well too. And we can function and work in the same light. So it should up your engagement as far as your voting goes. It should up your engagement as far as your DAO tooling goes, your efficiency and everything else by having really qualified and people that have a proof of knowledge from DAO. So we have 3 layers. We have the first base layer, which is going to be the one DAO ecosystem. It's the first layer of knowledge, and they're completing that book right now. You have the basic DAO layer, which is going to be basically that second layer. And then the third layer is going to be for each individual DAO that you get in. And that's where DAO Lens is going to be helping us out too. So we really made a whole streamlined process of education that everybody should be really well informed in. And DAO and DAO Lens, like Rachel, was a great find. All play a fantastic part in that for sure. I think we'll all be a lot more confident in ourselves and the DAO members that we have with us. So let's do DAO. Oh, yeah. They actually put out an article. I forgot about the article.
Oh yeah, could you please share that, Shock?
I'll drop the link down here, but they published an awesome article explaining just to the T exactly what they do. They did it last week. He's supposed to be here on the download on Friday, but he had a root canal. So hopefully we can get with them in the upcoming week. But yeah, I'll put the link down here. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, and just to piggyback off that, so we're also doing a live training webinar with Robin from DAO too. That will also be Thursday, a little bit later in the day. So I'll share that here as well. Live training.
And I love he used Mirror too. I love he used Mirror. Mirror is that's the tool. I love it.
Okay, so moving forward with our DAO tools, we have Quick Wallet as our 6th tool. This is a tool that Jacob built and helped pretty much for the Ambassador DAO to have an easy to use POAP distribution tool. You can also use Quick Wallet for NFTs, tracking attendance, and like I said, distributing POAPs at events. So this was used by Ambassador DAO, and Jacob had a really quick turnaround, same day. He was able to have Harmony POAPs minted and distributed to attendees at this event. So that tool was really convenient. And Jacob, is there anything else you want to add about Quick Wallet? Oh, you're muted, Jacob.
So yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, really excited to see Ambassador DAO using it. And the other functionality of it, it's the ability to create a wallet at in-person events in a very easy and user-friendly way. It takes less than 10 seconds. You are in control of your private key. It's a regular old Ethereum-based wallet. And yeah, we've launched it at a few concerts and festivals, and then the Ambassador DAO, and it's all gone really, really smooth.
Yeah, the turnaround was really quick, and Jacob, thank you for helping to create the graphic and everything too. And I think that this could be really useful for other DAOs that might want to use POAPs at in-person events. It's just really quick, it's really easy, and like Jacob said, you don't have to compromise your private keys or even your MetaMask wallet address. You can create a new wallet address on the spot if you don't want to use your personal information. So I think Quick Wallet is a really cool tool.
And it's also completely white labelable and customizable, so it can meet any DAO's specific needs or intention or branding or anything.
Give me 1 second.
It's
Who needs to, here we go.
Yeah.
Got him. Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you, Jacob. And if anybody else is interested in using that tool, reach out to me and I can connect you with Jacob if your DAO wants to use Quick Wallet to distribute POAPs at in-person events.
How do you recommend I reach out to you? I think I telegrammed you. Do you recommend just Telegram?
Yeah, Telegram is best. I'll go ahead and just send my Telegram handle out.
Thank you.
So you guys can reach out to me individually outside of the call, and I can connect you with Jacob. Okay, so next tool, we have Mintgate. And Devin, do you want to go into detail about Mintgate?
Yeah, so Mintgate, right now if you go to Mintgate, it is built out, you have to switch to the Matic or Polygon network to be able to interact with the site. But essentially what you can do is if you have any token on, yeah, okay, so let's start with a few things. You go to Mad NFTs. You have an NFT project. You mint your NFT, people are buying it, it's awesome, right? But you want to reward those holders with something, maybe it's unlockable, right? And you want to be able to ship them something, you want to get their address, but you know, how do you do that in a non-compromising way that's not storing their data on chain? So you would go to Mintgate, you switch to the Polygon network to interact with their site. But once you're there, you set a link, say it's a Google form, right? Fill out this Google form with your address, your name, your email, so I can ship it to you. And then you Mintgate that. So you take the token ID that you've minted on Mad NFTs and you put that in as well. And then you hit create and it's done. And so now anyone who has your NFT can click on the link. And if they don't have it, sorry, if they do have it, it reads, you know, the wallet says they have it and unlocks that Google form for them so that they can click on the Google form and fill it out. So really, really simple. You know, there's tons of creative applications for that. All 4 shards, Harmony shards are there. So it is fully integrated. The only weird part is that you just have to switch to Polygon network to interact with the site. But that's about it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool. And then Stakery Do is asking, will Mintgate come to Harmony? We've
So,
already integrated, yeah.
Yeah, and in terms of, you know, you don't have to switch to the Polygon network to interact. That's something that I'm definitely talking to them about because I don't understand it. So just waiting for them to get back to me on that specific question, but otherwise it's fully integrated and works with Harmony.
Cool. All right, well, that's our 7 tools right there, but I do have an 8th tool that I'm really excited about for DAO accounting. So this tool basically allows for accounting and treasury management. We should have a tangible working product by the end of the week, and the integration is mostly done. So the DAO accounting tool has 3 layers. There's internal accounting, external, and grantor and donor accounting. The internal, you know, has more additional information specific to the DAO members. The external accounting strips away all sensitive and personal information. And the grantor and donor accounting gives us a system for automated checks and balances for all deliverables and projects on Harmony. And Jacob, if you want to get into this tool a little bit more and explain it to everyone, I'm really excited about this tool.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so before I kind of go into the nuts and bolts of the tool, I kind of want to talk about the purpose of it. So I've worked with so many entrepreneurs, so many creatives, so many businesses, organizations, DAOs, what have you. And the problem or the friction that I see in so many organizations is lack of communication. And that's either internal, external communication, or communication about what's actually happening within the organization. So the DAO accounting tool, the purpose of it is to really simplify that process. Rather than focus on in-depth training and business awareness, it's creating very easy to use tools that only allow you to accomplish something in one way. You either do it the right way or you aren't able to do it at all. So it is able to share the information with all these different layers, like you mentioned. So internally, it shows absolutely everything. You can see names and aliases of who's putting the expenses in or doing the different interactions within the DAO. Then for the external world, it's able to strip away those nicknames and names and sensitive information and show a live updated view of what's actually taking place. And then for grantors and donors, the idea is to create a checks and balances system that automatically reports back to the grantors and donors and creates a very easy to use platform where you're able to see kind of the zoomed out view of all the different projects you're interacting with.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited for this tool, just to measure the success of DAOs long term. It's really vital that we have a really workable accounting tool. And we should be expecting a lightweight version available at the end of this week. And maybe sometime in the beginning of the month, next month, we can do a training webinar and just teach people how to use the tool once we have a workable version. Okay, so yeah, that's it for DAO tools. I'm gonna start a conversation now with Tim. We actually worked to put together a survey for you guys. If you wouldn't mind taking a couple minutes, just asking a couple questions about just your sentiment surrounding DAOs in the Harmony ecosystem. I'll go ahead and share that link now. And yeah, Tim, if you want to kick off the discussion, we've been talking a lot about just being mindful of the community sentiment surrounding DAOs and just listening to your guys' voices and being reactive. If there's anything you want to add to that, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, let's all be bluntly honest at this point. I mean, I don't think we could confidently say, oh yeah, the community loves the DAO concept and loves how it's gone, because that's not the case. I think we are in an area where we need to dig ourselves out of maybe a pit that we're kind of in right now with the community sentiment. If I encourage you, if you haven't looked at Reddit, to go look at a Reddit post I made last week where I said, hey, tell us about what you think about the DAOs. And believe me, they did. And in addition to that one, just go through the talk forum in the last couple of weeks and look at the comments, and you'll see the community is not happy, I don't think, with the way the funding's gone, who's been funded, how they've been funded, are they reporting back? Is anybody even making sure that the money that's going out is being spent in any kind of way that's financially responsible or has a return on investment for Harmony? So, and I think that it's very key for Harmony at this point to really listen to what the community is saying and address it. We can't ignore pain points, even if we hate them. Even if we were like, oh my gosh, this is not a subject we want to talk about. We have to, because I think at this point where we're standing with the community, to ignore anything, no matter how painful, would be a very bad idea. So we took those talk forum posts, we took the Reddit posts, and kind of that's where we came up with these questions on this survey. So the biggest thing right now for the survey is we need to figure out how to shotgun it out everywhere and to really encourage mass participation so that we can have some numbers that justify what they're saying. It's not going to look good if we go back and say, hey, Harmony, 12 people in the entire one community think this. No, we need a lot more than 12. I think the number that's been thrown around is 300. So I think we should shoot for more than that. The more the better, to get a good idea of what data truly exists and where our pain points really are. And I think the mission of the DAO ops, because we're all gonna have to work together. If you look at the different issues the community has, it bleeds into like funding and proposals and reporting and tooling. So I think it's gonna take a pretty big movement between all of us in the DAO operations to answer this sentiment from the community and move forward. And but what we were talking about earlier, the one DAO is I think is a really great answer. It's going to take a lot of work, bluntly.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Tim. If you guys can see my screen, these are just some questions from the survey we put together. Just trying to get a better idea of the community sentiment and just collecting data, and moving forward in a way that's mindful to what the community wants and feels. So yeah, if you guys could take a couple minutes, I think this takes less than 5 minutes to fill out. Would be really helpful for us to collect data. All right, is there anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah, Bricktop had a question. I was just typing it out, but I thought I'd just speak it instead. So Bricktop asked, who specifically created One DAO Alliance? Was it the core team, DAO Ops, or the people outside the core team, DAO operations involved in creating One DAO? So One DAO Alliance was essentially created by members of this call and a variety of like community sentiment reporting.
I would say,
Sorry, 1 second.
I mean, it was created by the community.
Yeah, so, like truly, yeah,
like it flat out period, like none of the concepts or ideas were organically just thought out of somebody's head and put down and like, oh, this is going to be a good idea, and then Bricktop actually played a large part in that, because a lot of the feedback that he gave 2 weeks ago, when we had that really in-depth conversation, really kicked off a huge amount of it. So thank you to Bricktop for really that prominent feedback. I did want to kick it to Maddie. I didn't know he was on already, but he's got just a few minutes. I wanted to let him come on and do his basic DAO thing, because he's just making strides with that so big. And so if it's all right with everybody, I'll kick it to Maddie real quick. Maddie.
Thank you, Chuck. And thanks for everyone for having me today. I love what the DAO team is doing. I love the pivots that they've made and just so much progress in such short time. They're just really an incredible team. So it's an honor that I get to work alongside of them to build out Basic DAO. The primary objective for Basic DAO will serve two purposes. The first purpose is to allow Harmony to scale at a more efficient rate by improving our staffing. So allowing anyone in the community to apply for positions as contributors, starting at around 10 hours a week. And, it's going to be quite structured on the operational side, because the goal is to, decrease the operational slippage that we often find when we're focused on passion and we're focused on the mission. But the easy things to fall the wayside are admin, HR, very basic, easy to complete tasks that really allow the scaling of Harmony and our sub teams. And so, all skill sets are welcome. Whether it's something dev related, something in events, or something in HR and admin or treasury management, things like that. We also want to provide all of those additional support services for the 10 Harmony core DAOs. So, providing a little bit of HR and admin assistance to help them just focus more on their mission and less on the operation side of things that as you scale so quickly, are easy to allow to slip through the cracks. So we're here to help support their growth as well. So Basic DAO will be up by this week sometime on forums, so everyone can comment, provide feedback. And I'm also very happy to say that we're going to partner with DAO and some other DAO tooling that we've discussed on this call that are just great platforms we're excited to bring in.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if you're interested, you guys, we are hosting a live training webinar Thursday the 28th at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please join, and we'll teach you all about how to use DAO.
And then one more announcement. We got Maba 78. I don't really know his Telegram name, but I know his Telegram name pretty well. But he's here to talk about the One Weekly, which if you guys haven't seen it, it's been freaking kick butt. This week we have a big one coming up with DAO Ops and Sam on Friday as well too. Bobby, you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Awesome.
So, as you guys know, every Friday we launch the one weekly news article. We've also started launching with Loge the video that kind of outlines, you know, some of the same content, but kind of expands on it and shows you guys a little bit more in depth, you know, things that we can't quite show in writing. This Friday we have a upcoming DAO AMA where Sam and Lee will be attending. You know, this is, I think, one of the biggest topics we've seen on the subreddit and across all social media aspects has been the DAO sentiment, some of the concerns, the frustrations. I can tell you from my point of view, the team is definitely hearing and listening. So attend the AMA, ask your questions, because you guys have a direct channel to Sam and Lee to get those answers that you want. There'll also be the Reddit AMA that Sam and Lee will also come and answer those questions that are posted there. So you kind of have two chances to really speak your mind and have the community hear your thoughts as a member, as well as get direct feedback from the team. We're also going to be writing this week's article will focus on the DAO sentiment piece. I have some things that I wanted to put out there for you guys, but as always, you know, the article is written with you guys in mind. With any community member, if you guys have things you want to ask that you guys want to see more of, let me know, let the team know, because we can't read minds. As skilled as we are, we don't know what you guys are wanting or thinking unless you tell us. And I'm on Reddit, I'm on Telegram, it's all Maba078. So let me know what you want, and I will do the best I can to get that feedback right for you guys.
Yeah, thank you for swinging through, man. I know you guys have been working really hard. I'm once again humbled in my short stay to be even a part of this community sentiment group, and just thank you so much for what you're doing and coming on, slaying it. Can't wait till Friday to see what you guys put out there. Can't wait for the article, see what you guys put out there. But once again, community effort. I think we should all give everybody just a big hands up, right? As far as big pat on the back for what everybody's doing here. So that's what I got. Rachel?
Yeah, so I went ahead and shared the link to the last one weekly where they went over wallet security, which I think is really important in our community right now. So please check that out, you guys, and always, you know, practice safe wallet security and best practices when it comes to that. Okay, so one last thing I'm going to share with you guys, actually two things. I'll share the open DAO tooling community discussion. I went ahead last night and responded to some people there who were talking about the multi-sig, and I got confirmation from the team that we are working on a solution internally to release a more updated version of the multi-sig. So I went ahead and addressed a lot of those comments in that chat. But if you guys want to get involved in any other discussion surrounding DAO tooling, that will be the place to do it. And then also the discussion that Shock had touched on that was sparked from a lot of stake reduce comments from a previous Open DAO Ops call. I went ahead and shared that DAO reporting discussion that we created, I think 2 weeks back now. And that's it for me. I think that Gabby wanted to share something.
Yeah, hey guys. Well, I got 5 minutes, but I just want to open the conversation into the topic of volatility and treasure management of the DAOs. I've received a lot of feedback lately and concerns towards, well, DAOs that have been granted the grants before, they have been funded price of 16 or higher, and consequently the value of their treasury in dollar value has decreased. So, you know, a lot of questions arise towards, do I have to make up for my budget? Do I have to look for additional funding initiatives? You know, do I have to change my deliverables, or do I, you know, what do I do now that I have less power of acquisition in my treasury? And I think this is important to address sooner than later, because the planning and allocation of your budget is going to be essential for all the operations that you're planning and the execution of the deliverables that you have set in place. So again, this is a longer conversation. Together a guide with some concrete examples and a framework for action plans. But I just want to open the floor and open discussions towards a few solutions that we've been drafting and have already been funded, and also for DAOs that will be funded later. I'm gonna go ahead and quit my camera so that my internet doesn't crash on me. And I'm gonna start sharing my screen just to provide a little example. So we have the Bootstrap grant here with the US dollar amount, and the first step is to have awareness of the spot price that we are funded with. So if I'm an example DAO and I'm funded with 50K at a specific date, I will have a spot price, which will be the price in which the one token is on that day. And we should be calculating the budget both on USD amount and also on the one token amounts, so that we're able to determine the following items. So we determine the compensation, we determine the activities, and we have an overview of what it looks like both on USD value and in one token value. The reason for this is because the multi-sig treasury, it changes in dollar value, but it doesn't change in how many one tokens you have. So it gives you a little bit more of control and expectation towards how much movement you can do in your treasury. So step number 2 would be to determine which items in your budget, activity 1, activity 2, or pay, which items you can pay in the one token, or it would have a priority to be converted towards a stable coin so that you can reserve that in your budget and have it at any time. I'm running out of time here, but just a quick outlook. The objective here would be to identify categories of the budget that you can keep on one token, others that you absolutely have to reserve and make sure that you have the funds at any point, which could be turned into stablecoin, and others as well that you can pay out later. For example, if I'm a governor that I opt to be paid at the end of my term, then those tokens could be utilized for something else and could be allocated towards staking and towards something else. So the timing of payments, that's something else as well to consider. What needs to be funded first and what could be funded last? That adds on to the management of the treasury. And real quick as well, putting the funds to work. Devin is going to be touching upon this a little bit more with the One DAO Alliance guidelines. Options that we're going to be putting out for what to do with your DAO treasury. And anyway, here with available funds that you're going to have with this categorization and identification of priorities in your budget, you're going to have doors open to opportunity for liquidity providing or staking and maybe even borrowing or lending. But these initiatives would have to be taken into consideration. Obviously, there's going to be some voting involved and with the parties that would be directly involved, and every DAO has its different situation. So that is the time I have right now. We can follow up this conversation again. I'm gonna be putting up a guide to better explain this, and we'll be happy to take some feedback, questions, concerns, suggestions, anything that we can capture. So thank you, and Rachel, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gabby. And I saw Annalisa had her hand up. I just wanted to add one more thing. When it comes to treasury management, I put in the chat that one solution for avoiding the consequences of market volatility is transferring your treasury from one to a stable coin. So that's one way that you can avoid market fluctuations. We've experienced this firsthand with Ambassador DAO, so definitely worth it to do that, you guys. And also, I think that achieving self-sustainability is really important when it comes to treasury management and finding a way that the DAO can continue to flourish. And I'd also be interested in seeing DAOs utilizing DeFi. And I think JCR wrote an article about that. I'll try and locate and send to you guys. Yeah, that's it. Annalisa, you had your hand up for a while, so go ahead.
Hi, Rachel. Thank you. So first I was thinking about, I don't remember who was, I don't remember who talked about the Harmony community on Reddit, but actually I'm the founder of Crypto Mujeres DAO, and we received a Y grant. And when we all received the grant, I started searching about Harmony on Reddit just to take a look about the community. And a lot of people were saying had this bad sentiment about the grant program. But the sentiment that I understood was, oh, they are not being like transparent, or they are not following up with the money they are giving to these DAOs or projects. And they were talking a lot about DAOs. So as Crypto Mujeres DAO, I created an account and I started talking with this community and saying like, hi, we received this grant, $10,000. What would you like to see? I'm trying to be like, we are trying to build on public. So we are trying to be transparent and like doing, this is my milestone, I completed this milestone. But from the Harmony, that's the community, right? But from the Harmony, I think it would be great for Harmony to follow up with the grants by setting up milestone. For example, for the Y grant, after a month, you need to report this publicly on the chat on harmonygrant.com, whatever it is, and publish, this is what I've done with my budget this month, and I accomplished this, and this. For the Y grant, we didn't have that requirement, but I think it would be useful for the community to see that you're not just giving money out and you're not following up with that grant. That was number one. Number two, what Gabby was talking about, I think is really important, because as a Y grant receiver, I got 10K supposedly, right? But when we received it, it was already 8,000. So we were trying to allocate money and like how to figure out the volatility of the coin. So we decided to stake something. Then our mission was, let's get more people involved with Harmony. So every person that we were working with, like community managers or website builders and graphic designers, we're working with one. So we'd appreciate if you download the Harmony mainnet and we can pay you with ones. Huge like mistake, because our mission was to get more people in the Harmony mainnet, but the coin was like, going down basically. So we didn't change our grant to a stable coin, and now we have less and less. So we have to cut things from the budget. That's why I think it's important for us to report to you or to Harmony, I don't know if weekly or monthly, and saying we face this, and this, and we are doing that, and that, and just have that public communication and transparency for the community to see.
I totally agree. And this is something I'm going to share with you, Annalisa, just because it's so relevant. About like 2 weeks ago, we actually had this discussion surrounding DAO reporting. And moving forward, I believe in the month of May, this is all really going to tie in with the One DAO Alliance. So just some ideas that we have for monthly reporting. We have number one, monthly treasury allocation, how the resources are being distributed. Once we fund a DAO, like that's really important that we see that moving forward. So we don't just give the money and then we never hear from the project or DAO again. Number two is signatory hours and contributions. So what the team is working on. Number three would be milestones reached, what your team has accomplished as a DAO. And then Stake or Redo also included this. So number four would be the deliverables for next month. So not only what the milestones this month were reached, but planning for the next month and making that clear to the Harmony team. So yeah.
Rachel, and then moving forward, because those were just super strong points. As far as the reporting goes, we know that the talk form can be a little convoluted, maybe a little cluttered and a little difficult to find stuff, and stuff gets pushed down. And so we will be trying to use a DAO tool, I think Mirror, which is a fantastic platform to publish the DAO reports. It's important to know that the DAO reports aren't just good for like the Harmony Foundation or DAO operations. The DAO reports are comprehensive. DAO report is the best thing that you can do for your community. It's the absolute best thing you can do to grow your community, because when people can go and reference and say, okay, this is what they've done over the last 3 months, here's their quarterly, that's the best thing that I want to see. We're getting ready to bring a lot of people in through Basic DAO, right? A lot of contributors are going to be here, and we're going to have a platform where you can now search these different DAOs. You can now search to see exactly what it is you want to go to. And when you go, there's going to be a metric for looking at these DAOs, and reporting is going to be so huge. And so keep reporting at the forefront of your mind. Make sure that you see whatever you look at, make sure it's something worthy of your DAO, right? Not just the minimum required reporting. Make sure that your DAO is proud of your reports. I guarantee you're going to grow because of it.
Yep. So this will help us to construct a map for DAO success. It adds a layer of accountability and transparency. And I think somebody mentioned, looking down the road like 2 years from now, and we're looking back at the histories and the evolution of DAOs, that's really important to have this, to have that extra detail.
I'll also add, sorry, Annalisa, another thing, the Project Y grants team, so that's not something we necessarily handle. There's another team for that. And last night they read through the internal circulation of the essentially what Rachel just showed and what was kind of compiled into the One DAO Alliance.
Hello, Alex.
And they said, well, we need this for the grants team, verbatim. It's like, well, cool. We're here. This DAO call is starting something across the entire Harmony team and the ecosystem that will be good for all of us, because I would love that as well.
LFG.
A lot more clear.
So I was thinking
LFG.
I'm gonna use, Rachel, your model, and I'm gonna publish it on Mirror for the DAO, and then I'll share it with you and the community on Reddit as well.
Yes, please. I'll go ahead and share the link for that. Feel free to use that model and create a Mirror article. I'd be happy to share it too. And Annalisa, if you want to connect individually outside of the call, if you want any guidance on that, I'll share my handle as well. Okay. And then we have Jane who has her hand up. And I just want to be mindful, you guys, we are getting close to the hour mark, but we are, opening it up now for questions. So take it away, Jane.
Hi, Rachel. So actually I have the same questions every week. Is there a more convenient way for our DAO to communicate with the Harmony DAO operations team besides a forum? Because I feel like it will waste some sort of public resources if every time we face a little problem, we just post a new thread on the forum, or is there some kind of form we can submit to schedule 15 or 30 minutes talk with the DAO operations team, or is that going to be incorporated with the One DAO?
I feel like right now during One DAO, everybody will be able to discuss wide open in the One DAO Alliance. So I think that we'll have almost a community hall type of forum where thoughts and problems and ideas will be heard. But I feel like directly with the DAO operations team, the best thing to do is if Telegram's your main medium, which I know it is for everybody, just literally like find Rachel on Telegram, find anybody in the DAO ops team, right? And all our Telegrams are linked to our Notion pages too, if you don't have them. But just find anybody in the DAO ops team and just make a group. And we're so responsive because that's all we do is sit on Telegram. I'm not even a Telegram guy, and now I'm just Telegrammed out. And just form a group, set a time, and we're gonna be there. And we're gonna, hear it out, and we're gonna help you flesh through it. That's what we love to do, and we're not doing much funding right now. And so we got a little bit of time. One DAO is taking up a lot of space, but we always got time for you, 100,000%. And so just find us on there. If you need my Telegram, by all means, just let me know. I'll drop it in the chat right here if anybody needs it, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, actually, I've been trying to like send you a message. I don't know if I sent it to the wrong Telegram handle, but I haven't got any response like since last week.
Jane, I can go ahead and forward you Jacques' contact after the call if you'd like, and maybe start a chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the inherent flaw of Telegram is that all messages start muted, which is not a bad thing, but it also isn't great when you're trying to keep up with a bunch of new people messaging you. So that's for everyone, just PSA.
I'm in the chat. I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm not Anon.
Hey, also, unless something's drastically changed and I've been notified, I think my position for DAO Ops is going to be like DAO Liaison. So absolutely, I think that's be one of my contributor role will be to act as a liaison between the already established DAOs and the DAO Ops and Harmony. So definitely we'll be talking to them, probably all of you soon.
Yeah, we're really excited to have Tim on board. And I think it's so needed right now to just be mindful of the community sentiment surrounding DAOs and really listen to the community and what you guys want, what your pain points are, what you want to see. We're all in this together. So, listening to the community is really important. And any concerns, questions about DAOs, you guys can go to Tim. And Tim, if you want to share the best way to get a hold of you, whether it's Twitter or Telegram, you can go ahead and share that in the chat. Okay. And Swade, you have your hand up.
Everybody, nice to see you all. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that we did post our April report. I put a link in the thing. It's kind of detailed and long, and I don't know if it's the best format. I don't know that anybody will read through the whole thing and then go to actually the documents that are referred to in the Google Drive to see all the hours and that kind of stuff, but it's all there. And I would really appreciate your feedback. What the report basically says is that two of us have kind of are doing a lot of the work right now, and we've put ourselves on a salary so that we can operate in a sustainable way and get this business set up, and that our goal is to operate fully in a decentralized way next quarter. So I appreciate feedback on that. The other thing that I want to announce is that we have bought 2 of these massive projectors, and we're now capable of doing projections from 50 feet away in full motion graphics and color. And so we'd be happy to support any DAOs or artists or digital artists or Harmony. Well, we're here in Denver, so it might be hard to travel a lot of places, but we have that capability now, along with our Spotlight projection. I also want to say that we're going to attend NFT New York, so that would be an opportunity for projections, digital artists, causes, organizations, other DAOs. We plan on putting fiat money as a scam on the Federal Reserve in the financial district. And we're also trying to figure out a way to get on a boat and go out to the Statue of Liberty and post like an ETH logo, Harmony logo on the Statue of Liberty. So if anybody knows somebody with a boat, I want to row. And then I also want to announce that on Wednesday at 3 p.m., we're going to have an NFT TEA event at a boba tea shop in Times Square. So watch for that on the calendar. And yeah, we're excited.
You guys are freaking awesome, dude. You guys are freaking awesome. Like fiat money is a scam. This social activation of like such lighthearted nature and actual like factual. We were talking to your partner Friday, came to the download, and I was throwing everybody props across the board, what you two have been doing just for the two of you guys, really handling the bulk of the workload. To address your first thing that you said, congratulations on the report. We were really happy with your report last time, and the fact that you published it as stated. It just means that you're solution based and getting stuff done, which is awesome. But even to go further past that, the workload distribution, which is a big point of which we're looking at trying to rectify with this One DAO Alliance, making sure that of course, when we have 9 signatories that start off on a DAO, right, the majority of the setup work, the majority of the workload is of course going to be on the 9 signatories, right? Like it has no, unless you just started a DAO with like 1,000 people in a framework already established, which nobody does, right? But having that decrease by percentage length, like, after the first term, having that come down to maybe 75%, then 50%, then 25% should be the goal of all DAOs to establish a sustainable network. And so it's great that you guys are keeping that in mind. I can't wait to meet you personally in New York. And then we are having an event which you guys should talk about offline, but I know there's something going on in Colorado. That's going to be a pretty cool Harmony event that Devin's help anchor. And so you should definitely hit them up, because I'd love to see some really cool activations from you guys, man. You guys got all my love and support.
Thank you. I'll say too that we did transfer half of our treasury when one was at 12 cents. We set up a multi-sig on Ethereum. And I will caution you, once you buy a USDT on Ethereum, do not try to send it back to your one wallet. You'll lose it. Okay. So just something to know. We did a little test and we were like, thank God we did that test, right? So
always test.
Yep.
Thank you, Swade, for sharing. We got time for one more. We got Vitruvius.
Hey guys, thank you for giving me the chance to speak. So myself Vitruvius, I am the DAO operation lead for Harmony India DAO, and we have operated for like the previous term, and we have been updating the community with all our reports on the proposal. So there are few things that I want to know about my DAO. First is, do we have to prepare a separate report or to submit a retrospective report of our previous term? That's the first question. And second, that is there any mechanism of treasury diversification? Like can we put our treasury to work to generate some kind of yield for sustainable operation of the DAO? So that is that something on the cards? Because there are many such initiatives on like Ethereum where they are putting up their treasury, diversifying their treasury, like liquidity mining. And so is such initiative are on the card for Harmony? Yeah. So do we have to submit retrospective reports for our previous term? Because our term has ended for first Q1, and now we are for the second quarter. So yeah, these two questions from my side.
I would say retrospective reports would be fantastic. Like it's not just helping us, it's definitely also helping the entire DAO community, your specific community, and then also you going forward, right? Knowing where you've been. And yeah, I would really recommend that. I think we have a talk, Rachel, we have a talk location for reports, correct?
Yes, I'll go ahead and share that again.
Yeah, thank you.
We haven't actually put an official ask. This was more of a discussion, but Swade, with Light It Up DAO, put an amazing report there. I think a lot of this is going to change next month, and it won't be on the talk forum. So this is just, planting the seed and starting to think in this direction. But next month we'll have a more concrete, reporting in place, reporting structure.
And then also, I think you're discussing like using the multi-sig as being able to invest, like applications as attached to multi-sig. Is that correct? So you can use DeFi protocols?
Yes. So like as earlier mentioned that we can have some part of our treasury in stable coins and some part in one. So can we put some portion or some percentage of our treasury of one and USDT at the same time at use on some DeFi protocol? This will provide some liquidity to the protocol as well, and in return we would be generating some yield as well, which will improve our operations runway.
So I'm going to say definitely tune in Friday to the One DAO Alliance chat on Twitter Spaces, because this is a key part that, you know, we're not going to ever force any DAO to do something, right? But it's going to be heavily recommended that, you know, the money you have in your treasury, there is and Tim mentioned this earlier, self-sustainability is not dependent just on like, oh, Harmony, right? Self-sustainability comes like, it's the responsibility of the DAO. How do you create a long-term sustainable thing? And part of that is, yes, using these DeFi protocols to lock away a quarter of the treasury and using those tokens that are generated to grow, scale, right? Continue to add to that, use that. Yeah, a lot of different things. I don't want to get too into it because I know we're at the top of the hour. But yes, we will address that, and that integration with
I'll
Gnosis is
definitely
coming.
join that. Yeah,
cool.
Thank
I'll
you
link
for
that here.
covering that.
Yeah, of course.
Can I just throw out one thing really fast? Like we talk about staking. As far as I know, the multi-sig is still incapable of staking from it unless something's drastically changed nobody knows about. But like that really should be a priority, because I and this is just me, this is not speaking for the DAO ops team, but I believe a successful way forward with DAOs is, hey, yes, you've met metrics. Yep, we like your mandates. We agree. Here's funding. You are required to stake this amount with a Harmony validator, you know, and hopefully the multi-sig wallet has been able to do that, because not only will it help the DAOs be sustainable, but we'll also be growing our validator ecosystem. So I really hope that you know, is what we're focusing on.
Yep, generating rewards from the treasury. That's really important.
So that is, I'm in total agreement with you, Tim. And that's something we're getting. I used the Ethereum multi-sig for the first time in like 2 years a few days ago. Like, yeah, it's awesome, right? The amount of applications you can interact with. We have our team, Victa and Give, are working on updating. That's like a priority number one. If you join any of the all hands meetings for Harmony, you'll see that that's something that they're one of their deliverables for April. And I hope it's out because we need that.
So stoked to hear it, man. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, we have passed the hour mark, you guys. I want to thank you all for taking the time to be here today and just getting involved in the community discussion surrounding DAOs. It really helps our team just to have direction and to be listening to the community and what your needs are. So yeah, is there anything else anyone would like to add before we end the call today?
Yeah, I think that last week, I mean, I think we killed it this week. I think everybody's deeply engaged. By like the last 15 minutes last week, we got down like 21 people. We got to like 37 and maintained 34 the whole way through, which means that, you know, people really start to take an interest and really be engaged, and the information is coming in quality. So that's feedback in itself. So thank you.
Yeah, and please share, you guys, if you know any other signatories on a DAO that might be interested in joining, please share, you know, reach out to me and send me their email or have them reach out to me individually. We'd love to really grow this call and get as many people involved as possible. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining today. And I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.